Hello everyone, today I want to show you one of my favorite ways to cook with eggplant. We have been harvesting a lot of eggplant from the garden. We are upstate right now, this is not my kitchen, but before I came here I harvested a lot of things to bring it over and cook with. And this is the eggplant we have here still. So when I came we had about 5 pounds. I cooked with eggplant last night. We made a stir-fried eggplant with some red chilies and Thai basil to eat over rice, and then I have already cut some for the dish I'm making today. Unfortunately, I just realized that the first part of this video did not get filmed. I went to grab the camera to change the angle and just saw that the button was not pressed, so I missed the first part, but I'm going to show you what I did. This is the kinds of eggplants that I have already cut in there. I have actually those three. I have some black Japanese eggplant. This is a Hawaiian variety, a Waimanalu variety, some long Asian eggplant as well, purple, and then some of the fairy tales. I actually used the ones that I had that need to be used because I've been harvesting so much. I'm unable to use them all at once, so I used the ones that were already kind of starting to get bruised, which happens kind of often with eggplant if you have so much of them and they move them around all the time. So I just, anyone that had any blemishes or anything, it didn't do very well in the traveling here. I just cut it and cooked up with first, and then we're letting the nicer ones stay here for as the days progressed. We're gonna have some friends coming over too, so hopefully we'll be able to make some more fun stuff with that. But I wanted to film this dish that I'm making today because it's something that I really like to make with eggplant. We're going to be making a Thai green curry. This is not an authentic recipe. I will link a recipe that I based myself off for this on the description box down below, but it's something that I like to make a lot with the fresh eggplant from the garden. It's such a delicious and aromatic and fragrant dish. And one of the reasons that I also grew tons of Thai basil in the garden this year is because I wanted to make a lot more green curry this summer. So I'm going to show you how I make it. I like to make my own green curry paste when I make green curry at home. And this is the part that actually unfortunately did not get filmed in the video. I just made this following the recipe that I put in the description box down below. So basically what's in here is some lemongrass, some galangal, some fresh chilies from the garden, kaffir lime leaves, and Thai basil. So I added the Thai basil to here because I needed something to blend a little bit more. I didn't have enough things in my blender to make this, to catch it, let's say. I usually make this in a mortar pestle at home, but since I'm not home, I don't have one here. We also don't have a food processor, which would be the second best option, and now I had to do it in a blender, so it was a little bit harder, and I had to add a little bit of water to make sure it blended well. But if you want an authentic paste, just follow the recipe down below. That one is very good. This one's going to be good enough for us for today. I also have already cut it and salted the eggplant. I like to salt the eggplant for about 15 minutes in salt water. I believe in the recipe she recommends to do that as well. That just helps removing some of the bitterness of the eggplant, and also it helps with also not turning brown super fast as soon as you cut it, because eggplant can get oxidized pretty fast. So we just leave this in here with salt to soak for about 15 minutes. And then we're going to make the curry. I'm making this vegetarian today. We're just using eggplant, chilies, basil, and then coconut milk and some chicken stock. I guess not vegetarian, only with veggies, because I'm using chicken stock and fish sauce. But these are the veggies that I'm using today. I'm not adding any bamboo shoots or chicken because I just want to use all this eggplant that we have. It's going to be a lot, so we're happy with eating only with this. We're going to start with cooking our chili paste. Our green curry paste. I'm going to use this pan here because that's what we have. I'd rather use a bit of a taller one, but we're gonna use this and it's going to work. So I'm going to first saute this in here, add the coconut milk, and then cook the eggplant in it. Meanwhile, while this pan is heating up, I'm just going to drain this eggplant. Now I have it in a strainer here. And you're gonna put it on when it's ready. I'm going to use just olive oil. Better to use a neutral flavored oil, but this is what I have in here as well. So this is a video to also encourage you to use what you have. We don't have to always follow the recipes to the T, strictly. It has recipes are guidelines, and then we can go adjust as we go. And sometimes we have some restrictions where someone else's house, they don't have all the same things that we have or all the ingredients that the recipe calls for. That doesn't mean that we can't cook it. So I'm gonna add olive oil in here. This is when I bought it from home. I thought we'll have some oil in here, but that's okay. It's not gonna be a big deal. Might add a little flavor, but at the end, everything's going to work out because this here is so flavorful that I think that those flavors are going to overpower and make everything nice and fragrant. So it's getting a little warm there. I'm gonna add the paste here in the oil. The oil will help kind of blooming the spices. Oh, it smells wonderful already. And we're just gonna dry it up a little bit because, as I mentioned, I had quite a little bit of water to this when I was blending, so the blender would blend. And just stir for a few minutes. Then I'm going to add the coconut milk and cook the eggplant. Once this is all prepped, this dish is actually pretty fast. It comes up together really fast too. Sometimes even at home when I'm really craving eating this, I like to pre-roast eggplant in a sheet pan, roast a bunch of it so I can keep using it for the week. And I'll even use that. I'll just put the coconut milk in here with the paste, warm up the eggplant in the broth, in the sauce, and then add a few other veggies and we have dinner. So just be adaptable and make things happen, I guess. So looking pretty dry in here. I want to dry this up a bit, but I do not want it to burn or get any color on it. Really just trying to develop a bit of the flavors and dry up the paste. Now we're going to do a coconut milk. This pan gets really hot. I also have a gas stove at home. This induction stove here is very strong. It takes a minute to adjust when you're in a new place to kind of, and depending on the brand or anything, to kind of get the feel of it. So now we're going to boil this coconut milk until the fat starts separating. I learned this from a friend of mine that's from Thailand, and he taught me how to make green curry, and says that you add it in there, let it reduce a little bit, wait for the fat to separate, and then we are going to add the veggies in. Green curries or Thai curries are supposed to be a little bit on the thinner side as well, not as thick. So we are going to be adding chicken stock. This chicken stock, I made it and I froze it. There's still a little piece of it frozen inside too, but it's fine because I only need a little bit for consistency. Once I add this eggplant, make sure I cover everything, and that's going to add some nice flavor to the dish too, since we are not using any meat for this one in particular. We're gonna do it all with eggplant. It smells wonderful here right now. So in traditional green curries, it's supposed to add fish sauce and palm sugar. I do have fish sauce. I bought it with me because I love cooking with it, but I didn't think to bring palm sugar, completely forgot. So we're going to be using a bit of maple syrup. Also not traditional, but we just wanted to balance out the strong flavors in there with a bit of sweetener, sorry. So I think that's going to work out just fine. I'm gonna taste it together and see how that goes, how that works. So I'm gonna go a little lower. Let's see, we'll let it separate a bit more. And all of this Thai basil here, it's from the garden. Look how much. I just harvested from one big plant where the straw flower and Frida is growing. And we have all of this. I'm so excited. So I'm going to add a lot of Thai basil to the end of it. Not all, because I'm gonna cook with it. I'm gonna save it for the rest of the week, but I'm gonna definitely use like a big amount of it because that's one of my favorite parts of green curry, just the Thai basil flavor with everything. So this is looking good. This is a shallow pan, so it's evaporating a little fast. The coconut milk's not breaking yet. I do have another can of coconut milk, but I wanted to save it to cook with something else with it. So we're gonna try to see how it's gonna work with only one for this time. So while we wait for this to reduce a bit more, I'm just going to cut these peppers. Those are the Togarashi peppers, I believe. They're growing in the plot as well, in the back of the pepper patch. They're not fully ripe. Those ones over here looking a little chocolatey. I thought they were going to turn fully red, but they didn't. So we're gonna just use how they are too, the way they are. They're not spicy, so we're just adding this for a bit extra flavor other than the eggplant. They have a little bit of spicy into them, but not as much. Not as much as I thought it would have, at least to dry it up. This is what they use traditionally to make a dried Japanese spice katogarashi. So let's just do the, maybe I use this red one for garnish actually. I'll keep it separate. So adds a little nice color at the end of the dish. So let me just cut some. It's a funny looking one, got all turned. I'm just going to cut a little bit. I used this for the dish I cooked yesterday too. It was really good with the stir fry eggplant with basil, with a lot of garlic and some fish sauce. It was really good. We really enjoyed it. So, but no recipe for that one. I just made things up using what we had. Here, I'll save that for garnishing. Maybe too much. And this is all gonna go in the curry. Very nice. And this is a kaffir lime leaf that I saved from when I was blending the curry, because I want to put that to add some flavor too when I add the eggplant. Okay, this is starting to separate in the, see here in the edges, and it's reducing a bit too much. So I'm gonna go ahead and add the eggplant, all of it. That's why I'm not adding anything else, because we have so much eggplant. But this is only for my husband and I, so it's a meal for two, and we don't mind eating vegetarian meal sometimes. Even though, like I said, there's gonna have some chicken broth on this, but not meat on the dish, I should say. Color of this is looking great. Sometimes when I make the curry paste, it gets more into the brown side. Today is nice and bright green, so I'm really happy. And look how nice it looks with all this colorful eggplant. It will change color though when it cooks. It will start turning brown, but as of the moment, it looks really pretty. Okay, I'm also now going to add the peppers, the kaffir lime leaf. And if I was cooking with protein, let's say raw chicken, which I like to use chicken thighs, for chicken curry, for curries like that, for Thai curries, and or tofu, I'll add it right now. So usually in Thai curries you add the raw chicken to the broth like this. You don't saute it first, so that's what I would do. But now we're just doing veggies, and I'm going to add a bit of chicken stock because it is looking quite thick. So I'm not measuring this, okay? I'm just gonna add until it covers the eggplant and gives us a nice consistency. There we go. Gonna give some very nice flavor too. So this is a quart container, so maybe maybe 2 cups of chicken stock. This is gonna go back in the fridge now because I'm gonna use for soup tomorrow. All right, now that I added all that cold stuff in there, I'm gonna raise the temperature a bit in this very strong induction burner, and we're gonna wait for this eggplant to cook, and dinner will be ready. I have some rice already that we cooked from yesterday, and we're just going to be eating this with some white rice and some fresh Thai basil, the fresh chilies. Okay, now we're gonna raise the temperature of this a little bit since I added all of the cold stock in here, and I'm gonna season a bit with fish sauce already. That's where I usually would add the palm sugar. Not measuring the fish sauce. I love fish sauce, so I'm gonna add, I don't know if there's a teaspoon or tablespoon. I'm gonna add a good quantity. I didn't add any salt to this yet, and fish sauce is very salty, so I always like to add the fish sauce before I add the salt. And I'm gonna taste it and then see how much, if I do need how much of the maple syrup I need to add. This is good. So much better than when you use the pre-made paste. Ooh, spicy. Okay, it's gonna cook it up a little bit. I really get disappointed when I use the supermarket pre-made paste, but I understand that's convenient, so not judging if you guys need to use. But I'm also gonna add just a little bit of maple syrup to balance it out, the flavors. And doesn't need too much though. It tastes really good already, thankfully. So just going to let this eggplant cook. I'm going to adjust the seasoning once more, and we'll be ready to have dinner. And actually, you know what, while I wait, I should be getting my Thai basil. Look at these stems. This is the Everlasting Towers, I think. I will put the name in the description box because I don't remember, but of the variety of this basil. But look how nice it looks. Nice strong stems. Very nice. They are longer to flower, so that's why you got this really long, nice stem. So they last longer, instead of going to flower really fast and you have to replant it or changing the flavor. These guys just keep sending these nice tall towers, I guess. And I'm doing something different today. Since I have all these nice stems, I'm gonna go ahead and put these stems into the broth to cook together in there, just to add even more of this Thai basil flavor, because I'm not kidding when I tell you guys that I really love Thai basil. It's like maybe too much, but it's so good in green curry. I always wish I could add more Thai basil to the green curries when I order at the Thai restaurants, but they sometimes don't give me. Sometimes, you know, not all of them will do that. So when I make it at home, I put an enormous amount of Thai basil because I really, really love it. So here it is. I just put this on the side here a little bit, just to infuse even more flavor to the broth. The broth's turning a little darker, not as bright green, and that's all right. I'll put a little lower. And then once it's like a 1 minute, and once I taste this again, and just for the seasoning, I will then remove this, add all the Thai basil in, so it just steams. I don't want to add it right now because I don't want it to turn brown. So I wanted to just turn it off. I'm gonna put this in, stir a little bit so it wilts, and then we're gonna get all that nice bright flavor on the dish still. And I saved some tops here for garnishing as well, some top of the basils. And I'm very excited for this. Now I'm gonna just get a little bit cleaner while I wait for this and wash off the stuff that I used. Okay, so it's been about 10 minutes, maybe a little more. The eggplant's fully cooked. Right now, I'm gonna go ahead and taste it one more time, remove the stems, and then add the leaves. I'm just gonna take out this, guys. Taste it one more time. It's a little salt. It's always important to taste your food. You guys gotta taste your food. And many steps of the way. I'm gonna put a lot of fish sauce because it needs salt, and I think fish sauce adds a wonderful flavor. It does smell a little fishy, but once it cooks, I promise you, it does not taste fishy anymore. It just adds a lot of umami to the dish. So the eggplant's starting to break apart, so I gotta hurry up here. I want it to hold this shape. I'm gonna taste a little bit now one more time and see if I have to just add regular salt, if the fish sauce was enough, or if I'm gonna have to salt just a little bit more. Oh, it's good. Perfect. What a difference. Just a little bit more fish sauce really brought everything together. So I'm going to also remove this kaffir lime leaf because they're not edible. It's like a bay leaf. It's a hard leaf, so we don't want to have that in there. Also, definitely not as spicy as it was in the beginning. So now I'm going to just throw all of this basil in here. All of it. And turn it off. And just move it around. I do this with almost all herbs that I cook. I don't like to cook them there for too long because I think it kind of loses its flavor. I'll do that with spinach too. I'll just add it, turn the flame off, and then move it around so it wilts. And it still stays nice and bright, like fresh, bright green color, and adds a lot more flavor. Then if you let it cook too long, it will kind of just, you know, start losing its flavor and turning brown and not as nice. So this is it. Can't wait to taste it again. Taste it one more time before I serve it. So need to leave here, see if it got some flavor. Oh my god. It's so good. I love this dish. It's so easy. I know the Thai curry paste might be a little bit hard to come by in some places, but it's just so good and so flavorful. Something so rewarding to make at home. So now I'm just going to plate it. I have some rice here that I warmed up from yesterday. And I'm going to put the eggplant right here on the side. I always like to serve these dishes in bowls. I think it looks nice. I like to eat in a bowl too for this kind of thing. So just the eggplant, peppers, and basil, and it looks so good to me. Okay, there's a lot of sauce in there. And then I'll just sprinkle some green chili, some of this red chili, so it looks a little nicer. And we can put a couple of sprigs of Thai basil on top. It's too big. This other one maybe. Yep. So it looks nice. And here we have it. Remove this chili up in there. Very nice bowl. Using our homegrown eggplants, pepper, and basil. Now let's just take a bite of it together real quick. I know I already tasted when we were cooking it, but look how nice it looks. Just gonna taste it with the rice and the peppers and the basil and everything. Let's see how it goes, tastes all together. Just a nice bite. It's really good. I also definitely notice it's spicy with the rice. Makes it, mellows out everything and makes it, you know, more balanced. So good. I actually made this a couple weeks ago and it was just okay. This one is so much better. I think that adding, you know, more traditional ingredients to the curry paste is key. I was able to find galangal this time, and I added that together with the lemongrass and kaffir lime leaves and chilies and everything, and they're now delicious. So very, very good. I'm gonna go ahead and make a plate for my husband, and we're gonna have dinner. And if you have any questions about anything, please let me know in the comment section down below. Thank you so much for watching today, and I'll see you next time.